Jacob had a little problem. Jacob had wanted to marry Rachel, but had been tricked into marrying Leah too. But even though he'd been tricked, he was not going to break his marriage covenant with Leah. Marriage is a covenant promise you make before God, and he knew we should not break our promises. So Jacob had Leah as his wife, but he also married Rachel, just as he had promised her he would. But now Leah had a problem. She was jealous. Jacob was taking care of both Leah and Rachel as his two wives, but he'd worked very hard to marry Rachel, and he did like her more than Leah. Leah let this hurt her feelings, and she got jealous. It's true that Rachel had a special gift of being loved by Jacob, but when God noticed that Leah wasn't loved like Rachel, he gave Leah a special gift too: children. Leah had a baby boy. She named him Reuben and said, "God saw I was miserable and felt sorry for me. Surely Jacob will love me now that I have a son." Uh-oh, these are not the right seeds to plant. Leah should choose to be grateful for the gift God had just given her and not be consumed with trying to make Jacob like her more. God warns us that these kinds of seeds will cause bitterness to grow, bitterness that hurts others. Watch and see where this path leads. Later, Leah had another baby boy. She named him Simeon and said, "God heard I wasn't loved, so he gave me this baby too." Oh no, more bad seeds. Then she had another baby boy. She named him Levi and said, "At last, now Jacob will really love me because I've given him 3 sons." More bad seeds. Then Leah had another baby boy. She said, "I'm going to name you Judah, and this time I'm going to praise God." Finally, there's a good seed. Now Leah had 4 boys, but Rachel had a problem. She was jealous now. Rachel watched as Leah had baby boy after baby boy after baby boy, but Rachel hadn't had any children yet. Rachel wondered, if Leah has all the children for Jacob and I don't have any, Jacob might stop loving me. Then Leah will have all the babies, and she'll have Jacob's love and attention. Rachel told Jacob, "Give me children or I'll die." This made Jacob mad. Rachel was way out of line. She was completely consumed with having a baby. You'll find out later that when we let things like this consume us, it's an idol in our lives, something that we've put in the place of God. Jacob scolded Rachel. "I am not God. He's the one who decides if you have children or not." But Rachel kept on being consumed with wanting a baby. She said, "Jacob, take my servant Bilhah as your wife too, and have babies with her. That will be my way of giving you babies too." So Jacob took Rachel's servant as his wife too. She had a baby boy named Dan. And Rachel said, "God has taken away my shame by giving me a son." Then Rachel's servant had another baby boy. Rachel named him Naphtali and said, "I have competed with my sister, and now I have won." When Leah saw that Rachel's servant was having babies for Jacob, the competing continued. Leah gave her servant Zilpah to Jacob so she could have babies. Zilpah had 2 more sons for Jacob, Gad and Asher. This continued until Leah had 2 more sons, Issachar and Zebulun, and also a daughter named Dinah. Now Jacob had 10 sons and 1 daughter, but Rachel still hadn't had her own baby. At this time, God considered Rachel and decided to answer her prayer. So Rachel had a baby boy named Joseph, and later God gave her another son named Benjamin. You'll hear more about Jacob's 12 sons and especially Rachel's sons Joseph and Benjamin. But in the meantime, learn a lesson from these sisters. They thought that what one sister had, the other should have too, but that's just not true. When you feed jealousy and comparing and keep track of who has more things or better things, it only makes you and those around you miserable. Without a heart of gratitude, whatever good things you do get will never be enough for you. Let what God gives you be enough, enough, enough for you. And thank Him for it.